everyone, this is the movie Maniac, and today we are talking about the latest entry in the lineup of these live-action Disney remakes, The Lion King. This is the definition of a full-on remake. It is extremely faithful to the source material. If you've seen the original, there are no spoilers to be had, because everything is essentially exactly the same. Some minor variations occur, and that's really about it. If you know the plot to The Lion King, you know the plot to this movie, and you don't really need to go in with any much more information than that. So I first want to get this across, and that is this movie is a visual masterpiece. And I think whether or not you love this or you just absolutely hate it, this is going to be the one thing we agree on. So if you go see this in theaters, definitely make sure to catch it on a big screen, whether that's an IMAX, a Dolby Cinema, or some upgraded viewing experience. If you have that opportunity, absolutely take it this time around. You will be floored by what director Jon Favreau was able to do with this picture. Now, the next thing we got to discuss here, because it's sort of like the big topic going into this movie, are the voices. It comes with a whole new cast behind the characters here, except for James Earl Jones, who at first I thought it was a little distracting because I thought, oh, wait a minute, hold on. We are hearing this original voice from this classic Disney animated film, and now he's here in this remake. But as time went on, it kind of felt like it made more sense. It's sort of the DNA bleeding through into this reimagining. And I shouldn't even call it a reimagining. I mean, this is just a straight-on remake. So I'm going to break this into two parts. Just stay with me here because it morphs into something else on the second point I'm trying to make. Part one, I thought the voices integrated seamlessly with these new live-action characters. Live action in quotes, of course. And it really all just felt so congruent with what was on the screen, and I loved it. I really felt like I was watching Simba. It felt like I was watching Scar. It really seemed like I was just watching these real new characters in Favreau's The Lion King. John Oliver's voice was great. I thought young Simba and young Nala were absolutely terrific. It just really blew me away. Seth Rogen, Key from Key and Peele, and they all just felt right at home in this movie. So part two. I thought that the adult versions of these characters, all I could hear and see were Donald Glover and Beyoncé. I could just imagine these actors in the studio in front of a microphone, watching the images on screen and reading the script. I just was taken out with them. I think they could have picked some other actors that would have been able to contribute that seamless integration that we had with pretty much everyone else in this film, and even when they were young. And they just took these names that I don't know if they were too high profile or what. I can't honestly give you a reason. And maybe their voices, I just know too closely how they actually sound in real life, and it just didn't match. And that's my only complaint. But 90% of the voices in this movie do work. I thought the song renditions were fine for the most part. It's not up to par with visually what you're watching, but I don't think they did a terrible job with updating these songs. There were some slight variations in the dialogue, but nothing too dramatic. I mean, again, this is a 100% remake. So they didn't go wildly in any other direction with things. It helped, it kept things fresh, but it just, again, it doesn't stray too far from the original. This experience is fast, it's very well paced. This has almost 2-hour runtime, and it seems like it's 90 minutes. So this really just does power along from beginning to end. Guys, I'm going to give The Lion King 2019 a 7.5 out of 10. I really liked this. I highly recommend seeing it in the theater. I think it's a visual masterpiece. I wish they had switched out a couple of the voice actors in the second half of the movie because I thought that was really distracting. But other than that, this is actually an easy movie to recommend. I think that if you like the original and you're okay with the idea of a live-action remake, then you are going to be pleasantly surprised here. I know I was. I want to go see this again on an upgraded screen. I saw it in a regular theater, but I lucked out because the screen size was pretty large, given it was just a regular showing. But I can't wait to check this out on a big mega screen because I know it's just going to be a jaw-dropping experience. So what does everyone think of The Lion King? I mean, I know that there's a lot of emotions going into this. I mean, there's people that literally just grew up with The Lion King and it's their favorite animated film of all time. They don't want this to be touched. There are other people that have already kind of accepted that Disney's just going to remake all these things anyway, so we might as well just get worked up and go see this. Where are you on that? Do you think it's better than I made it out to be? Do you think it's a little underneath a 7.5 out of 10? Because I feel pretty comfortable with that rating. And I think a lot of fans that are open to the idea of what they're doing here and what Jon Favreau is bringing to the cinema, I think you're going to find it to be a pretty fair rating. Guys, as always, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you can stay inside the mind of a movie maniac.